Hello everyone, and welcome to my CBS Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Sheila makes a shocking plea to Steffy. According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Sheila Carter will make a dramatic plea in an attempt to demonstrate how desperate she is. Sheila's daughter-in-law will have a lot on her mind because she will go to great lengths to surprise Steffy Forrester Finnegan. Fans are aware that Steffy has often told John Finnegan that she is adamantly opposed to allowing Sheila into their lives. If it were up to him, Finn would give Sheila another chance, but he won't oppose Steffy. Finn cannot be Sheila's ticket to quality time together because he must prioritize protecting his marriage and the life he has built with Steffy. Despite Sheila's strong desire to get in touch with Finn and haze Finnegan, Finn has stated that he is unable to fulfill her request. At this point, Sheila would even be content with just a few Finn bonding sessions, but Steffy is preventing any communication. But the more Sheila is apart from her family, the more determined she will be to find a way to make things better. Sheila would think that perhaps things might change if she could just demonstrate to Steffy how much she has changed and how much she wants this. Sheila will corner Steffy and put on a daring show to prove herself because of this. When Sheila even goes so far as to get on her knees, it appears that Steffy will be caught off guard. In the middle of all of this, Sheila will undoubtedly switch on the waterworks and hope that kneeling in front of Steffy would truly make her point. Naturally, Steffy will be left to speculate about Sheila's thoughts in this situation. Steffy may feel that Sheila is genuinely desperate and will stop at nothing to maintain a familial bond, but she may also worry that this is just another deceptive scheme. According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Sheila's choice to kneel for Steffy will cause a stir, so keep checking back for updates on Steffy's reaction. Will Spencer Jr.'s dirty secret be kept by Dylan? On The Bold and the Beautiful, Will Spencer Jr. was quite honest with Melissa Dillon about their casual hookup that no one was ever meant to know about. Will Dylan, however, conceal their frolic in the sheets? Discover what will happen on Bold and Beautiful next week by continuing to read. It won't be long until Electra Forrester becomes wary and confronts her cunning assistant. This week's teasers indicate that Electra can tell Dylan is concealing something regarding Will Spencer and that she has a terrible poker face. Will she discover that Dylan had an affair with her former partner? If Melissa Dillon's supervisor finds out about her hookup, she can bid farewell to her position as Electra's assistant at Forrester Creations. Dylan may be willing to take a chance in order to have Will Spencer Jr. all to herself because she is also somewhat enamored with him. Spoilers for Bold and Beautiful indicate that before the end of the week, Dylan will most likely give in to pressure and tell Electra Forrester everything. Dylan is not as kind and naive as she makes herself out to be. Dylan ultimately wants Will to herself, and telling his ex the truth might also be sabotage. If Dylan is having an affair with Spencer royalty, she won't care about losing her Forrester Creations. There are rumors that she will eventually work for Will Spencer's family business. The best-case scenario for Dylan is that Electra will be able to have him all to herself if she discovers that Will had an affair with his former roommate. Do you believe Dylan's affair with Will Spencer Jr. will cost her her job? Or is it all part of Dylan's long-term, evil scheme to wed a millionaire? Electra explodes, Dylan warns, and Sheila begs Steffy. There will be spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Sheila Carter will be pleading with Steffy Forrester Finnegan, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, in tomorrow's episode. Electra Forrester establishes limits with Melissa Dillon in the meanwhile. Discover what will happen next in the soap opera by continuing to read. Let's start this essay by talking about Dylan, who had an affair with Will Spencer. In order to avoid losing her work, the woman urged Will to keep it a secret. She even pretended that she and Jessica had recently made out. But it appears that Electra discovers what happened in a weekly preview clip. Or at least a portion of it. According to the official spoilers for tomorrow's episode, Electra establishes limits with Dylan. Dylan has always enjoyed her friendship with Electra, but she seems to prefer Will's masculinity. Dylan wouldn't have informed anyone about spending time alone with Will if she was so preoccupied with her work. I have to wonder if Electra believes that her friend's tardiness at work is due to Dylan's gloating. Electra appears to be furious and shocked in a promotional footage. But I suppose Dylan would already be fired if she learned about the passion. Of course, that could be a component of Dylan's strategy. She can then beg Will to give her a position at Logan. According to Wednesday, July 29th spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Sheila was surprised to see Steffy. Steffy isn't playing games, despite Sheila's attempts to cover. Because of Taylor Hayes, Sheila believes she has lost everything. Steffy can't trust Sheila with her loved ones, even though she will likely acknowledge that Sheila hasn't been caught doing anything horrible lately. Steffy must use caution in her response because Sheila is already in a dangerous situation. I don't blame Steffy for defending her family, even though I adore Sheila. People are capable of changing, yes. No, that does not imply that they ought to be given further opportunities. Sheila pleads her case and begs in any event. Sheila obviously says something that causes Steffy to reflect. Will Sheila always regret it if Steffy decides to give her a chance? We are aware that Steffy keeps thinking about the dangers as the week goes on. Thus, it appears that Sheila may have a chance. Sheila's obsession, explosive feud, heartbreak, and retaliation. According to previews for the upcoming 3 weeks of The Bold and the Beautiful, mayhem and hijinks are the norm as your favorite characters battle. Finnegan barges into Logan during Steffy Forrester's week and tells Hope Logan Spencer precisely what she thinks of her. Steffy claims that Hope's is solely to blame for the conflict between the Logans and Forresters. It doesn't matter that Rich Forrester drives out all the good workers at Forrester Creations by acting like a stingy dictator. Hope clarifies that her decision to leave FC and join Logan was entirely warranted. She took her brother, designer Deke Sharp, with her as she left for better opportunities. Hope tells Steffy to go, but we don't believe the fight is over. Sheila Carter, meantime, is still fixated on becoming a family with Hayes and Finn Finnegan. Finn has informed Sheila that Steffy and their children are his top priorities and that this is not feasible. However, Taylor Hayes is concerned that Steffy might be in danger and that Sheila is reaching her son. Wyatt Spencer is concerned about Electra Forrester and his brother Will Spencer. He was kicked to the curb by Electra, and Miss Melissa Dillon quickly picked him up. According to spoilers, Dillon might show Electra how close she is to Will, which would lead to another argument about the irrational Spencer man. Electra might retaliate against Dillon over the week by firing her from Forrester Creations. She might demand that Dillon be demoted from her assistant role if that doesn't work. It appears like Sheila interferes once more, which is terrible for Taylor and Steffy. Will Taylor demand that Sheila be told to stop by Deacon Sharp? Is it time for Carter and Daphne Rose Walton to consider other family plans as they continue to be crushed by their infertility problem? Or will altruistic Daphne push Carter away because she fears her marriage is over? Spoilers for Spicy the Bold and the Beautiful suggest that Hope might experience more panic attacks given the amount of stress she is experiencing. The blonde is confused if she wants to get back together with Brooke Logan Forrester. Hope's defection to Logan, which she perceives as a betrayal, has caused the mother and daughter to become distant. Do you believe that Brooke's hatred of Hope and Katie Logan Spencer, Heather Tom, is justified? The largest love triangle isn't the one that everyone is focusing on. From the outside, B&B appeared to be primarily concerned with the love triangle between Will, Electra, and Dillon. However, Monday's program subtly revealed that nearly every choice was influenced by a different love triangle. Hope, Steffy, and a desperate need for approval from others were all part of this psychological triangle. These two women were caught in a classic love triangle over Liam for almost 10 years. They exchanged the man for a corporate throne on Monday, but they are still embroiled in a poisonous power battle. Because neither woman is content to merely be a successful CEO, the rivalry between Logan and Forrester persists. In their different fashion professions, Steffy and Hope have both attained unquestionable, high-ranking success. At Forrester Creations, however, neither of them is able to find genuine serenity. Both feel that professional accomplishment is meaningless unless it directly affects the other. Ultimately, each continues to gauge her own success based on the response of her opponent. Steffy's deliberate visit to Logan during the episode had nothing to do with business. It was a psychological and physical invasion intended to push limits. Steffy wanted confirmation that she still had the final say and could set the parameters of the engagement, so she entered Hope's personal and professional sphere. Steffy's responses during the exchange showed that she was quite uneasy about the prospect of real equality. She needed concrete evidence of Hope's deference to her authority in order to feel confident in her role. She didn't merely want to be in charge. Hope, meantime, was relieved that she had finally refused to submit to Steffy's wishes. Crucially, Hope used Steffy's obvious displeasure as the only lens through which to view her own triumph. Hope's internal excitement had nothing to do with corporate strategy, fashion design, or company policy. It was about the infrequent, thrilling moment when Steffy was compelled to recognize Hope's emotional fortitude and tenacity. Hope affirmed her own value by making Steffy react. She demonstrated that the only metric that matters to either of them is their internal emotional scoreboard. Steffy lost control of both power and affirmation at that precise moment. This one scene is proof that the soap opera's true plot is still their emotional rivalry. Dylan and Elektra draw a line. After a falling out over Will, Dylan, Sidney Bullock, and Elektra reconciled. However, Dylan made 2 commitments to Elektra as part of their reconciliation. She refused to date anyone at Forrester and would not pursue Will. In order to prevent controversy at work, Elektra wanted her friend to swear to these terms, and Dylan complied. Since Dylan is now Elektra's assistant, the 2 pals are closer than ever. Because Dylan works at both FC and the Bikini Bar, Elektra has been concerned that she is overworking herself. However, Dylan's absence from the fashion house in the morning wasn't due to a shift at her second job. She had stayed over at Will's. Since the Forresters declared him their enemy, he has been the center of her attention. Speaking about adversaries, Sheila aspires to take on a new role in Steffy's. Jacqueline McInnes Wood, thoughts. Sheila has been trying to get involved in Finn's life since her divorce from Deacon was finalized. She is aware that if Steffy didn't object, she would be. Sheila wants her daughter-in-law to view her differently and give her the chance to demonstrate her transformation. Steffy refuses. She informed Finn that she was unable to bring his birth mother close to their family. Finn has retreated from trying to convince his wife of his point of view. He thinks Sheila has changed, but he doesn't want to jeopardize his marriage by pursuing the matter further. Steffy Forrester Finnegan is reassured by John Finn Finnegan in the meantime. Discover what will happen next in the soap opera by continuing to read. Let's start this post with Steffy. The woman had just arrived at Logan in search of Will Spencer. Steffy saw Hope Logan Spencer but failed to locate Will. Naturally, the brunette couldn't help but make fun of Hope. But I have to give Hope credit for managing it without completely losing her composure. But this fashion dispute might divert Steffy's attention from a more pressing issue. Fans are aware that Sheila Carter wants to see Hayes Forrester Finnegan and Finn. Steffy will not permit this at all. Finn continues to support his biological mother, though. Sheila won't give up even though Steffy has already said no. In addition to that, Finn makes a promise to Steffy about his loyalty. That's a clear sign in soaps that Finn is going to end up betraying his wife. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for Tuesday, July 28 reveal that Sheila will continue behaving in public, but spiraling in private. The lady is anxious for a family again. Deacon Sharp's love made Sheila a better person, but losing him could transform her back into the wild maniac she was before. If Finn gives his bio mom an inch, she could truly go too far. This time, however, the outcome might be lethal. Finn must therefore consider his next course of action with Sheila and Steffy. Will, on the other hand, recently received a reality check from Wyatt. Will be able to go on with Melissa Dillon now that Wyatt has informed him that Spencers and Forresters don't get along? Will may come to believe that Elektra is off limits. Getting that message into his heart, though, might be another matter. Even if everyone keeps repeating that Spencers and Forresters don't mix, I'm not quite persuaded that Elektra Forresters is over yet.